Alexa, replay.
I'll repeat the song.
Hey, buddy. That's hilarious. Who is that guy? That's hilarious.
Hey, hang on. Wait a minute.
I can't hear you. Who's that guy?
Let's get right into the Kansas City Buffalo game, because that was the best game I've probably ever seen in my life.
All of us. Frankie was texting me. You were texting me. Then yesterday, Big C called. He was with Malachi and Dave Rivera, right? Mm-hmm. And they were talking. Malachi said that he said, Tom, he said, correct me if I'm wrong, but with 13 seconds to go, couldn't Buffalo just tackle the receiver and a holding penalty 5 yards? I said, yeah, they could have done that twice. They could have just tackled Tyreek Hill twice, tackled him on purpose. And then it's not even pass interference, holding penalty. They moved the ball 5 yards up the field, but they burn off 4 seconds on the play. Yeah.
Why didn't they do that? Like, sometimes I don't understand. Like, it's not like they're in these situations all the time, but you would think, like, you know, they would review these kinds of things or take a timeout and talk about it. Like, I don't get
Barry, they had 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, to figure out what they wanted to do after they scored a touchdown, because they had to kick extra point, and then they had to go to the commercial before they kicked off. Now, you really want Patrick Mahomes to have the ball at his own 25-yard line with 13 seconds and 3 timeouts? That's not a good setup for you for defense. 13 seconds is more than enough time to run off 3 plays with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, it's interesting because the guys that we grew up with, not all of them are experts at sports, but you watch enough and you listen to enough guys that know enough around our neighborhood where we grew up that you just know stuff. Like, so for them to say to you, like, why weren't they just grabbing the guy and take a 5-yard penalty?
Yeah, and then Malachi had a question. He said, hey, T, he said, if we're on a 2-point conversion, is the clock running? And I said, no, a dead play. And the reason I know it's a dead play is because when we were in high school, we beat Hedger with a 2-point conversion. And I remember referee telling us before we broke the huddle that this is a dead play, no clock. So no clock in a 2-point conversion. Because what Malachi was thinking was, why not? Because they're already ahead by 2 points, right? The extra point put ahead by 3. Why not just take the ball to Reed or to Josh Allen and have him run around for 10 seconds before they tackled him? And then you kick off and the game's over. Right? But
yeah, because people were talking about a squib kick, which I don't think really does anything. It gives them more yardage. I don't think that's it. You're right. That's Malachi's idea is better.
A squib kick would have worked. Well, no, the 2-point conversion wouldn't have worked because they don't run the clock anyway. So, but I get where he's going with that. But the squib kick would have worked if when you squib it, you bounce it off of some of the guys in the front line. So as soon as it touches someone, the clock starts going. So now as the ball's moving around the field, the clock's running off. Even if you run off for seconds, he got 9 seconds now. Even if he's on the 40 or the 35, he's only got 9 seconds. You cannot give that guy the full 13 seconds.
So they could have, like, the first play was to Hill, right? And then Kelsey.
17 yards.
So that one, they could have just grabbed him and got 5-yard penalty.
The thing is, you want to grab him before the ball's in the air, because once the ball's in the air, it's a pass interference. So it's a penalty rate where you grab him. So
yeah,
you want to grab him when he's coming off the line of scrimmage. You want to tackle him. You want to bear hug him, just bear hug him and hold him down. So then he's got to turn and throw it somewhere else. He's got to throw it to a receiver or something.
And then that takes up another 3/4 to 5 seconds.
5 seconds. So then a referee's going to throw a flag. The referee's going to go holding, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down, right? And so the next play, you bear hug Kelsey and you bear hug Hill, right? One more time, right?
So then, who's that? DoorDash?
Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Meyer, who is it?
Is that DoorDash?
No, I don't have food delivered here. I go get my food. Mr. Meyer, who is it? Boy, that's a good watch.
Maybe the gardener came back for a late night gardening.
Well, he's supposed to come yesterday. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to come today. Jose, are you there? Is he out there?
He's Luis.
Oh, that's Luis.
Yeah, Luis Gonzalez.
Or Jesus. Luis, that's Luis.
It's Luis.
Is he good? Is he learning the ropes of the gardening at the Tellerino household?
Man, it is him, I think.
It's him.
Yeah, he's learning the ropes. I mean, it's got nothing to do with it.
No, you throw some rock. You move rocks around.
I got a couple palm trees in the back. I got a couple trees in the front. I got a couple shrubs. Trim, cut. But the blow is nothing.
Yeah, it's not really landscaping. It's like rockscaping.
Yeah, I mean, I got fake grass in the back. It looks like real grass. I got a bunch of trees and bushes. You know, I got a green around here. But
wait a minute, I gotta put a cushion. You know how the NBA guys, the big guys, have two cushions.
Yeah,
when they sit down on the bench.
Yeah,
I gotta have two cushions today. You know how those guys do that, like Anthony Davis and the really big guys, LeBron and those guys. They have these big cushions on the sideline on the things.
I like your outfit today. What is that?
Yeah, I got my NBA All-Star jersey on. Can you see the back?
That's great.
The Barry D. I think I got number 33.
You know what I watched yesterday? I watched the 1987 NBA Finals, Lakers Celtics Game 4. It's called the Magic Baby Hook game when he won it with.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh, and you know what? I know we're talking football, but I wanted. There's a story I saw that Pat Riley talked about that the team wanted just to bench a bunch of guys that game in Philly. And then just wait to go back, and Kareem was going to play in the following game, hopefully, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Magic got mad. And Magic got pissed.
Yeah.
And he said, no. And then Magic, when they did the Westhead was the coach, right? And Pat Riley was an assistant.
Yeah.
And they did a walkthrough, and he put Magic at the center position. And then I guess Pat Riley said that Kareem used to have a certain chair seat on the plane so you get the extra leg room. It was called 1A or something. And Magic sat in that seat that when they flew to Philly that day, because you said, that's it, I'm the guy now. I'm going to be Kareem today. And I mean, the stories, it was on Center Court, that NBA Center Court. NBA TV got some great stories, but
great.
You know, and I know we're talking football here, but I just felt like wearing my 1998 NBA All-Star, gate shot. We wore this in the celebrity basketball game. We got to play in that celebrity game. Yeah. And I got number 33 because I guess they gave me 33, and it says Barry D, but I think they thought I liked Larry Bird or somebody.
Well, yeah, I mean, we like Larry Bird. Of course we like Larry Bird.
Yeah, but I was a Laker fan. I didn't understand why they gave it to me. I think they just gave it to me because they thought I was a hick from French Lick too or something, and they just said he'll like that. But I wore this mostly because as we get into football, I want to tell a few stories. I wore this like in honor because it's been 2 years now. A day ago that Kobe died.
Yeah, terrible.
And yesterday, 2 years ago, and this is where we first met Kobe. Was at the NBA All-Star game.
We interviewed him outside of Madison Square Garden. It was a great. Hold on, I'm gonna get you some.
You're gonna go talk to Luis? Just tell him move a couple rocks around. I mean, this guy's interrupting the show now. Luis, just take one rock from the backyard, put it in the front yard, and then put a couple additional rocks on the side, and that's it.
Okay.
The dog's mad because the dog's.
Yeah, he's upset. I got to hold him. He's upset. Yeah.
He's upset because he's like, I don't need this guy here moving rocks around.
Yeah, no, he's a little upset. Yeah.
And he probably wants a rest. When we do the show, he wants a rest.
Yeah, he just lays on the couch in the corner. He doesn't.
Yeah, he don't want to be bothered. But anyway, like that's why I wore this today. I wore it for a couple reasons. Number one, for Kobe, because that's when we met Kobe. And was that Kobe's second year, first year?
It was the second year.
Second year.
His first year was 96, 97. His second year was 97, 98. We met him in 98 at the All-Star game.
And we had a great time with him. It was fantastic. I mean, meeting him was like, wow. And, because you knew this guy was going to be, one of, if not the best.
He was only 19 years old when we met him.
Yeah, he was fun. He was funny.
He was nice to us.
He had his whole life ahead of him. And then the other reason I wore the hoodie with the black hood and the hood up, because I was trying to channel Andy Reid talking to Mahomes when he said, when it's grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, you like it.
I like how he said that, though. That freaking guy, that Andy Reid, he's good. He's funny.
Is that the greatest quote ever? That's the greatest quote ever, buddy.
And also the timing of it. He said it to him when they're going into overtime. He's like, the guy's nuts. He's like crazy. He doesn't care.
He says, he said, when it looks grim, got to be the Grim Reaper.
Let's get back and talk about the KC Buffalo game again. It's arguably one of the best games we've ever seen in our lifetime. But hopefully the best game I've ever seen in my lifetime is when the Vikings win a Super Bowl. But let's talk about something different. Like, what else? Like, you talked about the guys from the neighborhood saying, why don't they grab them? The Josh Allen thing of going for two and just running around, taking time off. Like, no, I haven't heard too many people talk about what some of our friends said. Why just get up on the line and grab Tyreek Hill, like bear hug him. Like, it's weird how they were, again, playing prevent defense, and they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, the coach for Buffalo screwed up that game, because when you score a touchdown with 13 seconds to go, I don't care, Jesus Christ, quarterback on the other team. You don't lose that game. You don't give the quarterback a chance to throw the ball. I mean, a coach blew that game. He's responsible.
And they didn't. But they threw more. They threw the first one to Hill, and then the second one to Kelsey, and then the third to Kelsey, or just two?
Just 2 plays. Only ran 2 plays.
It's just incredible.
They get 17 yards on the first play, and they gained 23 yards on the second play, or 24 yards on the second play.
Let alone 2 before the overtime when Tyreek Hill got open over that middle. Yeah. Like, again, I would have just grabbed him again. Like I know it's easier said than done because the guy's faster than grease lightning, but I don't know.
You put 2 guys on him, and you tackle him. You don't let him run a pattern. And then you put 2 guys on Kelsey, and you tackle him, and you don't let him run a pattern. The referee's going to throw a penalty flag, but they're still going to run a play. They still got to run a play. They're still going to, Tyreek's going to get up and still try to get open.
So really that time to get them to overtime should have never happened.
No, that game should have never gone to overtime. When he scored with 13 seconds to go, give me a break.
There's no way.
Give me a break. That game should have never gone to overtime.
Well, who's the Buffalo defensive coach? Leslie Frazier.
Well, yeah, Leslie Frazier. But, I mean, what was he supposed to do? He's trying to guard people. There's no special defense.
He stinks. He's an ex-Viking coach. He stinks. And it's just terrible that they played their hearts out again. And that Josh Allen, I tell you, that guy's something. They should clone that guy. They should clone him and figure out how to clone that guy. And I love that guy because he's so he's new school, but he's old school. He'll just run over you and he don't care. And he's big and physical, but then he could finesse you. Some of the throws he made in that game were really unbelievable.
Oh, dude, he runs. He's their best runner. He run the ball. They got no running game. I tweeted out. I said during the game, I tweeted out the running back, that guy Singletary. I said he runs harder to the huddle than he does when he gets the ball. You ever see him? He gets tackled, he jumps, he runs back to the huddle really hard. It's not like that when you got the ball in your hands.
So what did you think? So what do you think? Obviously we're going to talk about this. So that was a fantastic game, the best game of the last couple of weeks, let alone, in eternity. And it was sad that Buffalo had to lose. Buffalo knows how to take failure well, though. That city knows, just like Minnesota, they know how to take it really well. And if you live in Buffalo, you know every day when you wake up, it could be heartache because it's not easy to walk up, especially in the winter, and you wake up and it's gray and it's cloudy and it's snowing and it's tough and it's just a tough town. So those people can get through it and they'll be back. But I just wonder, people were talking about the overtime rules, and I think they do have to change it, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you could change the overtime rules for sure, but I know if you're a Buffalo fan, right? They lost the 4 Super Bowls, and then they had the Miracle, Music City Miracle, where they lost that game to Tennessee back in the late 90s, right? And then they lost this game. So, I mean, if you don't move out of Buffalo after this one, then you're never then too bad. You move out of Buffalo, get out of there. I don't care if your family's there. Move.
Yeah, but even when they move, there's still going to be fans. There's still fans all over the country that are over the world that are Buffalo. There's smart people that have moved to Tampa and these other places, and then they show up at those stadiums for their Bills. I mean, it's a great fan base. You got to give them credit. They're like the Viking fan base. They could give up by now, but they don't. They don't give up.
Yeah, but I don't give people credit for that. I'm sorry.
What's
give
wrong
up.
with
Give up.
No, you can't give up. There's no way
up.
you can give up. Come on. It's like,
you can't root out a loser for 50 years.
No, you can't give up. I mean, especially when you see how hard they play and you see this Josh Allen and you see what this team's done. And it's like, I'm not saying they would have won if the overtime rules were changed prior to, but the overtime rules do have to be changed because each team has to possess the ball. I don't care if the first team scores a touchdown.
Well, yeah,
right.
But that seems like it's easy to fix. I don't know why they don't just fix that. That's easy.
It doesn't make any sense why they haven't fixed it yet because they love scoring. So if the first team scores a touchdown, then the other team's got a chance to score a touchdown. The excitement of the other team having to score a touchdown. If the first one scores it, it's such a stupid thing if you think about it. They should have just did it right then. They Roger Goodell should have called the team right there. He should have changed the rule immediately. Just call. I don't care if he's got to get other owners involved. He just called on one of his burner phones and said, "That's it. No, it's not going to be one touchdown win. It's going to be both teams are going to possess the ball at least one." I mean, I think the Bills would have scored, but then people say, "Well, okay, if the Bills would have scored." People say, well, why don't you stop somebody? Well,
yeah, that game shouldn't have gone to overtime. That's what I say. That's a bad job by Sean McDermott, and Sean McDermott's going to get fired next year if they don't win.
No,
they're going to fire him. Yeah, they are. They're going to fire him because that owner, Pagula, Terry Pagula, whatever his name is, he's goofy. He's goofy like that. He's going to fire him. You watch. He's going to fire him next year. If they don't win, they're going to fire him.
So what do you think? So both these teams couldn't stop each other. So if the KC Chiefs lost, it would have been like, you need to stop somebody.
Well, they were stopping each other the whole game. They scored like 28 points in the last 2 minutes.
They got tired.
They were stopping each other.
They got tired. You think they got tired?
Possibly. Well, I think Buffalo's defense is overrated. I don't think that's a number 1 rated defense at all. They're overrated. That white guy, Matt Milano, he's always a step short.
Yeah, where did he play? At Oregon? Is he from Oregon?
I want to say Penn State, but probably not Penn State. Yeah, probably.
I think wasn't he a linebacker at Oregon? But what about when Tyreek Hill pushed the game into overtime and he ran by him and gave him the peace sign and Milano was ahead of him? That guy's got balls.
Yeah, well.
He gave the peace sign, and Milano was 3 yards ahead of him.
Yeah.
He knew. He looked at him.
Tell Milano didn't have the angle. He knew.
I love that Tyreek Hill. I tell you one thing. I don't not hate the Buffalo Bills because I feel I have a connection, a brotherhood with them from losing 4 Super Bowls with my Vikings, and that we stick with our team. But I'll tell you, that Kansas City team, I love watching them. It's just crazy. This is awesome. I mean, Kelsey looks like he's lumbering. He catches it, and he looks like he's lumbering, but he's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. He's really fast.
Moving.
Yeah.
He keeps moving.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that game, it was a fantastic game, and I think we're going to get the overtime rules changed. Tommy thinks McDermott's going to get fired, which is interesting. But I think the weirdest thing of all is guys from our hood, our old hood, actually had answers to what Buffalo could have done.
Say that again?
I said guys from our old neighborhood back in the day actually had ideas on what they could have did.
Yeah, I mean, Big C told me, he said, T-Bone, I was yelling squib it before the kick, so was I. I mean, I wanted Buffalo to win because Josh Allen was so magnificent. He was so amazing in that game. He was better than Mahomes, and Mahomes was amazing. But the plays that Josh Allen made, the clutch play, the 4th and 13 to that wide open Gabriel Davis, oh my God. It was like, so I wanted Buffalo to win. And they had it. And I'm like, squib kicking the game's over. Just squib it. No. Sean McDermott, with suit and tie like a CPA, fixing his tie, kick it to the end zone and have him fair catch it.
Yeah, and then another, who was it, Malachi, that said if you grab him at the line, it's a 5-yard hold.
Yeah. I was saying that all week long, and then Malachi was saying that. And then Malachi did say, he said, T, I've been a Buffalo fan my whole life. He goes, I'm convinced we're cursed.
See, I think what people don't realize is the guys we grew up with, you had to, we functioned in a different reality. Like you would always try to figure out an angle in every day, even if it was an angle of try to find a nickel to go buy like a piece of bubble gum. You'd figure out how to do something, and sometimes you'd have to take something from somebody and give it back to them later. But we always had to think on our feet, and it's interesting now, decades later, you got guys from the neighborhood texting you going, well, what about this? Well, what about this? And you got Buffalo Bills with these coaches that are getting paid all this money. And they don't even know, they can't even come up with that idea because they didn't work on the street. They didn't work and hustle on the street.
Josh Allen wasn't happy either with that coach. I guarantee you. Afterwards, when he got together with his family, I guarantee you Josh Allen told his father, our coach is a moron. I guarantee it. I know it.
I want to get to a couple comments here. Look at this one's good. Tyreek Hill's faster than Danny Zuko was in Grease Lightning. That's good. And wait, up here, look, he also says that we should be hired. He loves the analysis of what you could do in those situations. And if in New Orleans, they need to
listen. But for that simple, I appreciate that you think that we could run the Saints. But Barry and I, we've been around a long time. We're old guys. We're admittedly old guys. We know a lot about football. We've forgotten more about football than most people will know. And the one reason why we would never take the Saints job is that we're not stupid. We're not going anywhere. There's no quarterback. We're not doing that. I'm not going to New Orleans. I don't want Taysom Hill as quarterback. Is that his name? Taysom?
Tyson? Is it like Tyson chicken? Or is it Taysom?
I can't have you got it. That's why Sean Payton resigned. He's got 3 years. And he's got like $30 million left on his contract, and he said, I'm out. Because he's done as much as he can do with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
He's done as much as and even defense of Sean Payton, he did as much as he could do the last 2 years with Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees the last 2 years.
Sean Payton was looking at this going, this is like the Bad News Bears. This is like the Bad News Bears of football. He looked at it and he goes, I'm not doing this.
Without a quarterback, there's only so much that an offensive genius can do.
He's like, I got the guy who hurt himself, who's colorblind, who would throw to the wrong team all the time when he was on Tampa. Then I got Taysom Hill, and this guy's no good. And then I got Simeon.
Sean Payton is such a good coach. He makes those guys serviceable. He makes that team dangerous. each quarterback has a different skill set and he runs a different type of offense. He's a terrific coach. He was great with Drew Brees. I watched Drew Brees' last game as a pro against Tampa Bay. He couldn't throw it through a window. He couldn't throw anymore.
Yeah.
They're saying, do you think Drew Brees should retire or not? He retired 2 years ago. He just kept playing.
Yeah, he was done anyway. Hey, wait, Brian had to say this about your little dog, because I can hear the leaf blower out there.
Yeah.
Because the dog doesn't want anyone to mess with the trees.
Yeah.
I mean,
the dog just doesn't want. He's protective of his property,
and he doesn't like the noise.
If I let the dog outside, he won't go near them. He'd run away from them. He's
well, that noise, the noise of the leaf blower is probably bothering him. But I want to know what leaves. Is he trying to blow the rocks around with the leaf blower?
No, we got trees. I mean, there's trees all around my house. Yeah,
so rocks. It's mostly rocks. So, but I could see your dog might have a favorite couple trees out there, and he thinks these guys are going to try to pee on him too.
He doesn't want that. Yeah, Mr. Meyer, he's good.
So we Dad Simple says, we need a quarterback. Yeah, of course you do. You got to forget it. It's over. All right. So as far as this game. It was a fantastic game, and we could second guess a lot of things that the Bills didn't do, and et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, they lost. They're going to learn from it, and let's just go right into Kansas City, their next game, because we might as well. Let's just talk right about the KC Bengals game and who you like.
Well, I said Green Bay was going to beat San Francisco easy last week, and I was way off. So I'm gonna say it again. I'm going to say that Cincinnati's not going to beat Kansas City in Kansas City. Kansas City's going to have an easy time with Cincinnati. That's where I would go. But, again, I always say this, Costanza cash, don't go with what I say. And I watched that Green Bay-San Francisco game, and San Francisco sucked in that game. And if they blocked that punt, they were never going to score a touchdown in that game. They were awful. Jimmy, lowercase g, is awful. I can't believe they won 2 playoff games.
It's terrible. I got a chocolate. I had to have a chocolate to get some energy.
Yeah, it's good.
But I'm going to tell you, that Jimmy G, he's terrible. He's like the kid.
San Francisco's good. I don't care how many games they win. I don't know how they're doing it. Their defense isn't that great. Everyone says that Aaron Rodgers played a lousy game. He was 20 out of 29 for 285 yards and no turnovers. How is that a lousy game?
Not a lousy game.
San Francisco wins.
Green Bay, that's the worst loss I've ever seen Green Bay in Green Bay. The worst ever in my lifetime. If they played like that half the time against the Vikings, I'd win that division and knock out Green Bay even in the playoffs. But the weird thing, too, about that Jimmy G, he's like this. Like, remember in high school, we were smart, but we weren't super smart. Like, we weren't taking college prep classes. We were getting by. We were more interested in sports, all of us, right? Sports and girls and stuff. And I remember in some classes, I wasn't that good in some classes. Like biology, I was terrible. I was terrible in biology. And we'd have to do those group study things in biology. So I always knew who the real smart kids were in the class. And in the group thing, I put myself in their group. That's what Jimmy G does. He's not, at least like me, not that bright in biology class, but I'm going to put myself with all the really good people to get through this. I mean, he's like me. He's like the marginal person that I couldn't even do nothing. I would offer to write up a report. That's all I could do.
I'll tell you this, buddy. Jimmy G's going to win Sunday too. They're going to beat the Rams.
No,
the Rams 6 in a row. They're going to beat the Rams. The Rams are beating San Francisco. San Francisco's going to win another ugly game.
No, okay. So look, I'm going to take in the Kansas City game. I want to get this over with Kansas City. The Bills fans, they're done. It's over. I'm sorry, but the KC, I think KC, just like we picked Green Bay last week, I think they're going to dominate Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati beat them already one game, and I like that idea that they beat them one game in Cincinnati because now it's KC at home. And it's the last team to score wins. And again, it's going to be Kansas City. It's going to score last. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I take the over, too, for you people that like over-unders. But I think Kansas City is going to win that game. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. And then the next one, if you want to talk about the Rams, like that Ram Tampa game, we got to talk about that game because that game was over when it started. It was over. And I swear to God, I've never seen this in my life. If you've got a big kid out there, any of you people that have kids or you're going to have a kid, and if your kid is big and he likes to eat, you got to make him an offensive lineman like quickly, a tackle, because I swear to God, that tackle was out for Tampa, the number one guy, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah. And they bring this other guy in, and
Josh Wells.
The drop off was like the women's college basketball after number 1 to number 3. It was unbelievable. This guy was so bad. And then he got injured.
Well, he was hurt, though. I felt bad for Josh Wells. He didn't play bad the previous game. He was a little injured. I felt bad for the guy.
And then he had another injury. But I'm just thinking, that's the drop off. Like, isn't there another guy? Like, it's really slim pickings with backup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. It shows you how difficult it is because Brady was like under siege. I mean, it was like crazy. It was like Tom Brady at a bar and he got divorced and all these girls just on him, like going after him. Like, it was like crazy. And I was watching that game. I go, God, this is a boring game. Like, they're not coming back.
Well, also, the only reason they came back was because the Rams turned the ball over 4 times. They had 4 fumbles. I mean, they hiked it over the guy's head. I mean, what was Matthew Stafford doing? They hiked the ball. The whole line moved with the hike. Matthew Stafford's like looking over here. The ball's whizzing by his ear. Don't take your eye off the center. When you're behind the center in a shotgun, never take your eye off the center.
Yeah, like what's more important? Like what are you looking at? He's got a microphone in the helmet.
The receiver and go, hey, you got to move in 3 yards. The only thing that matters is the ball. Look at the ball.
You're right. You're right. That's the most important thing. And so you're right. I get what you're saying. The only reason they came back because there were some timely turnovers, but still Brady had to execute them down the field for these scores. And when Fournette scored that last touchdown, I was like, you got to be kidding me. So this game's tied now. They got outplayed like crazily. I was like, they're going to win this game. And now, so this is what I want to talk about now. And I don't know if Malachi or guys from the hood, the old guys from the neighborhood, mentioned about this game like they did with KC Buffalo.
Malachi said to me, there's no way the Rams losing. He said they have nothing but all-stars on defense. And I said, what all-stars? They got Jalen Ramsey and they got Aaron Donald. He goes, the other guy from Denver. I go, that guy's old. He's not an all-star anymore. Von Miller. Last thing Malachi said to me is, I'm putting 5,000 on the Rams.
When? You mean this week?
Yeah, he's going 5,000 on the Rams. He thinks the Rams are going to win. You're crazy.
Well, if he plays the money line, I mean, it's not a bad bet. It's not the best bet. So they're
not beating that lucky 49ers team. That 49ers right now beat anybody. They're playing like crap, winning. I don't even understand it.
So I gotta ask you this though. It's oh
shit.
The thing I want to ask you about with the Tampa. Hey, what happened?
Wait a second.
It's like UFOs. You all right?
Yeah.
Did your computer fall down?
Well, yeah, I had to hit a button and then I pushed it off of my stand, but we're okay.
Oh my God, that thing survived? That's a advertisement for a match.
Let me go pay the landscaper. 1 second, buddy.
You gonna go pay Luis?
Yeah, I gotta pay Luis Gonzalez.
Let me show a couple here. Oh, Raymond Dante. Hey, Ray, what's up, man? Hey. So Raymond, good to hear from you, man. Oh my God. I think I saw another comment you had there, Ray. Ray and I used to play soccer together in high school. Ray was on the wing. I believe Ray was a right winger. I would play in the center. I love to hear from you, Ray. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, man, for joining us. The Rams are done. I hope they're not done. I hope the Rams win. I don't want the 49ers. I don't like the 49ers, and for a lot of reasons. And I don't like the Rams either for a lot of reasons, per se, Viking stuff. But I got a feeling that they're not done. But I appreciate you contacting us, man, and commenting and stuff. So hopefully you're staying warm and things are going good for you. And remember the run that we had when we were kids. No one could keep us down, remember. And I'm sure there's people out there go, what the heck are they talking about? Well, when Ray and I played soccer together, we were okay. We weren't like this flash, like, how Lopez in Scarface says the flash guys. We were just a rough and tough tumble team, almost played kickball a little bit, but we would just push, and we were tough. We were tough. We were tough, and we were one of the better teams ever at the high school in the history of the high school. That's like our claim to fame here. So anyway, Tommy's going to be back. He went to see Luis. This freaking Luis guy, I would fire him. I don't even understand. Like, are there people out there that have landscapers? Any of you people out there watching, listening, do you have landscapers? Like, what do you need a landscaper for? In Vegas, you don't even need a landscaper because it's all rocks and a few palm trees. Like, I don't even understand this. And Tommy doesn't speak Spanish. You got to speak broken English. Did you pay him? All right, man. You bring the dog out there?
All right, Barry.
The dog's attacking him. I think the dog went after him.
Well, he was jumping at the door like crazy. Jumping. Yeah,
Would you pay the guy with the dog biting him? Is that his payment?
I leave Oscar inside. He's he doesn't bite anymore. He only barks. But once he sees me have a normal conversation with you, and whoever comes in here, like I had to have someone come in and hang the new TV and all that. Once I have a normal conversation, like at normal decibel levels, he's totally cool.
So is Luis done?
He's done. Yeah.
Now where's he going?
I don't know. He had a whole trailer full of palm tree leaves that he trimmed off of all the palm trees from his work today.
That's important to you people that don't know about palm trees. It's important to trim the palm trees because if you don't trim them and the dead branches become homes for rats.
Not only rats, but also scorpions.
Oh, scorpions. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, rats and scorpions. But my palm trees are, I got the pineapple. Like they're short. They look like a big pineapple.
They're short ones. So, and another
one, but they got the big, like they're perfect for the yard. Like they're just short on one side and then a big one on the other side.
I like, you see, some people probably watch us and they go, are they talking about sports? Or what are they talking about? Because we go on sidebars. But I think because that's part of our life. So you're talking about palm trees now, and I'm going to do a sidebar about palm trees.
Yeah.
Because when we lived in LA, Tommy and I worked for a bunch of celebrities. That was our life. That's what we did. We were Ray Donovan without the murder. That was Tom and I. We would take care of all these things. It was very, very interesting and very. Yeah, it was interesting.
We didn't have like hitmen on our list. We had plumbers and we had electricians.
Yeah, and other people, of trades and so one job I did, because you want to talk about palm trees, is I went to work for Cher as the project manager of her Malibu estate when they were building her Malibu estate, which she just sold a couple years ago to Jay-Z's wife or Rihanna. Rihanna or Jay-Z's wife, they bought Cher's house for $35 million. So I was working on the house because they had a guy in there that was a project manager, and he didn't know anybody, Tom. He didn't know any plumbers, roofers, faux finishers. The guy was screwing up left and right, and she was getting really mad. So someone I knew was working in the office for Cher, and she said, I got to find somebody. I got to find a crackerjack guy that knows people because this guy's killing me. This is terrible. We're behind schedule. I'm over budget. So she told her about me, and they said, get that guy, call that guy. And I went in there to meet with her, and she just, she gave me the lowdown. And I just said, all right. I said, I'm just going to be straight with you. Like, I'll go through everything. I'll see what the guys are doing. I'll look at their contracts, and I'll just tell you. And then if you want me to bring a guy in, I'll bring a guy in, and then I'll just get rid of the other guy. I said, I'm not going to bullshit you. And she goes, I like that. I want it straight. I want it straight. I'm sick of this shit. She was going, I'm fucking sick of this. I'm sick.
Of course. They're all, of course. You don't want
And she was really nice and really straight, but she wanted what she wanted. So then I went through everything and I started bringing people in left and right. And she'd go, okay, I have to bring a guy in to do this. I have to bring a guy to do this. She goes, okay, Barry, he's in. Get rid of the other guy. Get rid of the other guy. Get rid of the other. So then some guy already was contracted for the palm trees. This gets to the palm tree story. And it was some guy in Florida that was bringing the palm trees to California, and they were already like 30 feet. Mature, a particular brand of palm tree, because palm trees are native to Florida, not California.
Yeah, no, they're imported. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're imported to California.
So they bring in these trees. Now, this property is gigantic, and they bring like 50 trees, and they're all over 20 feet, and they're covered up, and they bring them in on these big flat beds, and I had to be there for the organization. And then the guy came that she got the trees from, and then he starts to put them in the ground and put them in the ground, put them in the ground. So all of a sudden, then the next day, he takes them out of their little wrapping, right? And within a week, they all died.
What?
And finds out that this guy wasn't like a top-notch like horticulture landscape guy. He knew where to get the trees, but he knew nothing about how to plant the trees. It was kind of like Seinfeld, like he knew how to take the reservation, but he didn't know how to hold it. And so she went crazy because they all died. All the trees died.
I thought you didn't like Seinfeld that much. You keep quoting all these Seinfeld lines.
Yeah, I like that. I
didn't know you like that. We watched the.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So all the trees died, and it was unbelievable amounts of money was wasted. So then I had to find another palm tree guy. So I just, I learned that from that, because then I got another palm tree guy through a reference of another guy, because we always knew all these different people. And he said, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. You don't take them out of their wrapping for at least like a month. He said they go in shock. He said those trees went into shock. So that was that. And so that's our palm tree stories. I mean, and we do all these sidebars all the time, people, but it comes up. Like Tom's got palm trees. He's got Luis, the gardener there, the landscaper guy, and it rolls into share. Somehow it rolls into share. But anyway. All right, so let's
you had it was in Malibu on the ocean. It was on the bluff on the ocean.
Yeah.
You were living in Westwood, and you would go and have dinner every single day at California Pizza Kitchen every day.
I loved it. I love the California Pizza Kitchen.
7 days a week, you were there every day, so I always knew where to find you.
You knew I was there all the time.
6 or 7 o'clock at night, if I want to go see Barry, I just go to California Pizza Kitchen. He's right there.
Right there, getting a salad or a little pizza. So let's stay on the left coast, and let's talk about the Rams and the 49ers quickly. The 49ers got really lucky. We'll go really quick. I mean, Jimmy G stinks. The Green Bay Packers stink. I mean, it was a terrible game. I know the weather was bad, but the San Fran's the luckiest team in the world. And, and they're lucky because they're come on, it's the 49ers, and it's about the gold rush back in 49, and you get the little thing and you rake it around the water and you get the gold. These guys are so lucky. And the Rams, I know they've beaten the Rams. I think
6 times in a row. 6 times in a row.
See, so time is the odds.
This game. And the other thing is this: it's in LA. But I read this morning that there's already over 43% of the tickets have been sold to Northern California people. It's going to be a 49ers home game.
So you don't think that because they won 6 games that the odds are against them to finally lose?
No, I think the odds are greater. It's going to be 7 in a row. No,
God, I can't believe it.
Get out
so you
of here.
really think they're going to win? I don't think they'll win this game. I think their luck is going to run out, and I think the Rams are going to attack them fast and quick, and through the air and through the air. And if the Rams, I'll guarantee you one thing: if the Rams don't win, OBJ will get a fight with somebody.
Yeah, but he's not even a story anymore. Like, he's faded into the background. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's the best player on that team. He's the best, right? Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah.
And OBJ is an afterthought. He's overrated. He's all right.
And they're playing without Woods. they miss Woods.
No, Woods is better than OBJ. Way better
Yeah,
than
they miss him. So you still see? I don't think they'll win this game. You better call Malachi.
The other thing is their running back, that Cam Akers, he fumbles. He fumbles when you're trying to run the clock out. He fumbles.
Yeah, I know.
That's not going to work. Nah.
You really? Yeah.
I told Malachi, don't bet the Rams. I said, don't bet the Rams. He goes, T, I'm putting $5,000 on it. I said, man, he goes, they have nothing but all-stars. I go, what all-stars? They got Aaron Donald, and they got the Dylan Rams who got beat for a touchdown against Tampa Bay.
He acts like he's walking down Hollywood Boulevard looking at stars. Look at all these stars. Look at all these stars. All right, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go with the Rams because I think their coach, I love their coach, and I know they've gotten beat 6 times by these guys, and I know I look at it that the clock's going to run out. I know there's no really home field here, but I don't think Akers, they're going to run the ball to him as much. I think Sony Michel, they're going to run the ball to him more, and I think they're going to air it out and air it out and air it out, and I think they're going to go fast right from the get-go to try to get San Fran D off balance and tired, and I think it's going to be a tight game. The tricky thing is Robbie Gould on 49ers is a better kicker than the gay guy.
Yeah, no, Gould has never missed in his life in the playoffs. Never.
Yeah, he's
in his
so
life.
that's the tricky.
I mean, and then that guy Debo, come on, man, that guy's ridiculous. He looks fat to me, and no one can tackle him. He's a chubby.
He is fat. He's pudgy. He eats a lot of food.
Debo.
Well, someone said he's a mix. If Anquan Bolden and Percy Harvin had a kid.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
Isn't that funny? If Anquan Bolden and Percy Harvin had a kid, it'd be Deebo Samuel.
Well, he's like Anquan Bolden. He's great. He's a great player. They're good. They got good players. They got. Well, I don't know. I just don't think they're going to lose. The Rams. Right. I don't trust the Rams. I just. The other thing is like Sean McVay's lost 6 in a row. And then today I read where Sean McVay said, well, Kyle Shanahan's not in my head. Well, so you saying that means he's in your head.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in your head, you wouldn't say anything.
You wouldn't even bring it up.
No, Kyle Shanahan's not in my head. Oh, yeah,
all right,
sure.
so let me ask you, all right, so you're going to take San Fran. Obviously, you would take the point. Do you like the over-under?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the over-under? It must be high 40s, right? It must be almost 50.
No, it's low. It's 40 something. 46 and a half.
Yeah,
let me look.
46 and a half. Okay. So yeah, I would take around the under, I think. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring in that game, but I don't know. I mean, I would never here's the thing. I would never
46.
I would never bet that game. I would stay away from that game because San Francisco right now is playing this goofy football that I would bet on. I wouldn't go near that game because they're blocking punts. They're winning Green Bay. I mean, they won that game in Dallas when Dallas had 14 penalties. Like they're just the goofy things are happening. And then the Rams are a goofy team anyway. They're Tampa Bay turning the ball over 4 times. The Rams they're goofy to begin with. So the other thing that makes it even more goofy is it's in LA again for the second time in 4 weeks, and it's going to be a San Francisco home game. The whole thing is goofy. I don't bet goofy stuff. So
it's 3.5. Rams are favored by 3.5 and 46.
Yeah, forget that. Get away from me with that.
That's a tough game. So you can pass on these games. You don't have to take it. It's like, but if you had a choice,
passing on them. Pass.
If you had a choice, though, you take the 49ers plus 3.5.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
If someone held a gun to your head and said, here.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Bengals Chiefs, I want to go through that game.
The other thing is Jimmy Garoppolo threw 4 passes last week in Green Bay. They all should have been pick sixes. They were the worst passes I've ever seen. Troy Aikman was going, I don't know what Garoppolo's doing. Those passes should be picked off. He was awful in that game. He's lucky the ball hit the ground.
Troy Aikman, I think, is watching it sometimes going, God, I was good.
Yeah, because
God, I was fucking really
Garoppolo would
good.
get rushed, and he would be on his heels, and he would just throw like this duck way out to the sideline, and the ball's going, and the defensive back's going, and you're going, oh my God, that's a pick six. Somehow the ball always ended up on the ground. Like it's the goofiest team I've seen in years.
No, you're right. It is odd. So if I had to take that game, I would take the Rams money line. I would never lay 3.5. I don't want to really, but the game at the end of the day, Costanza cash picks, I really like. I like the Chiefs. And I like the over.
Take the Chiefs because, for all the stuff that they're saying about Joe Burrow, I watched Joe Burrow. He's got that great guy, Jamar Chase, but he gets sacked all the time. He just stands in the pocket. He acts like he's wearing a red shirt and no one can hit him. He acts like he's practice. Like, what's he doing?
Like in practice.
He acts like he's in practice. He's standing with the ball and they grab him. Like dude, what are you doing?
He does. He stands back there. He does. He stands back there like it's practice, and he's got the red shirt on. That's a good analogy of it, but it's true.
What the people don't know, in practice, the quarterbacks wear the red jerseys, mean you can't touch them, right? So he acts like he's got the red jersey on all the time in a real game. Get out of here. He gets sacked like 100 times.
So that line is -7, 54.5. 7's a lot of points, but if you don't want to lay money line, then you could go ahead and drop and buy a point and get it down to 6. And then I like the over under. And if it's 54.5, you got to buy half a point and go 54. You think is that the game of the day?
Well, I think the Rams is the game of the day because you don't know what's going to happen in that game. You have no idea. There could be 80-yard touchdown plays all game long in that game. There could be like missed plays, missed assignments, guys running 80 yards. Like, I just think it's just going to be one of the weirdest games just because of the way the 49ers play. I don't like that. That's going to be the game. It's the late game. It's got to be the late game, right? It's got to be the late game.
Yeah, they're the late game. Yeah, because the West Coast and Central.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about one thing. I want to talk just quickly. The Tennessee and Titans are the worst. They're the worst. Like it's hilarious. That Ryan Tannehill, that was another thing that Malachi and the guys from the neighborhood must have been like, there's 30 seconds left and Ryan Tannehill is going to throw the ball. And they could have just ran it, maybe run it again, try to kick
the wrong guy too. He hit the guy in the flat and he threw. Listen, the first pass of the game was intercepted. Then they come out in the second half. His first pass of the second half was intercepted. His last pass of the game was intercepted. He's a bum. He's a bum. You can get anybody to do what he does. Anybody could do that. Hey, listen, here's the biggest game of the year. We're the number 1 seed. We played all year long. No one got the home field advantage. We're going to play this for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We got Derrick Henry coming back. We got A.J. Brown. We're going to practice for 2 weeks. Here's the play. First play, no interception. What is that?
But it's amazing too. At the end of that game, you already know he wasn't well. He never is well, and you could have ran it to try to get within field goal range. And if you don't want to kick it, then you don't kick it. You go to overtime, and the only reason they were in overtime was because what? For some reason, the Bill Belichick coaching tree said that when it was 7-6 and the Titans scored to make it 7-6, they had 6, that after the penalty on the extra point that was good, because they move it closer, you go for the 2, and they missed it.
Yeah.
Where does it – would Bill Belichick do that? I don't think he would do that.
First of all, why follow Bill Belichick all around? He's done nothing. Without Brady, he's won nothing ever. So the Bill Belichick coaching tree, like, forget that. Listen, that game, all I know is that, like, if I'm running a team and I'm practicing for 2 weeks for the big game and I got home field advantage, if my quarterback throws an interception the first play, go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down. Go over there. Get out of here. Like, you're not going to win with that. That quarterback tells you everything that you need to know.
And, so that was the funny thing. It was such a take the air out of the balloon. Like you said, we got the home field. We're going to play this game. We got Derrick Henry back. I was like, these guys are the #1 seed in the AFC. My God.
The first pass of the game was intercepted. The first pass of the second half was intercepted. The last pass of the game was intercepted. You got no chance.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to wrap this up. Our Costanza cash picks again. Our KC. You can take the minus the points if you want. If you don't want to lay a lot of money line, but at least go -6. Don't take -7. Take the over. It's 54.5. Go down to 54. We don't like the San Fran Ram game. If you have to take anything, you take the Rams plus the 3.5. But I want to say one last thing because I kind of got sad after that Ram game, Tampa Bay game, because there's talks of our favorite guy, Tom Brady, who loves you, of him retiring, and I want to know what you think of that. It was kind of it happened so quickly, near the end.
Well, he's openly talked about retiring for the first time, which definitely gives pause. But I got to tell you though, even though he's still very good, he's not slipping in terms of talent-wise. I wouldn't mind him retiring. Like I don't feel like somebody taking him out because I don't want him to get hurt at this point. Now, you know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't mind him retiring. I mean, Gronk wants to retire too. And then the other thing is, he's the other guy that has the goofiest coach in the world. That Bruce Arians is a goofball. Like these guys that get these jobs. I don't understand. What's that? What is Arians wearing around his chest? That sound, that audio kit around his. What is he, the sound man or the head coach?
I heard you talking about me, Tommy T. I heard you talking about me. I woke up from my cryo chamber. I was in my cryo chamber, which helps me with my muscles and my nerves and my body and heals my body. It's a cold tank. Only rich guys like me can use that. But I heard you, and you said no, and you don't want me to get hurt. But look at my lip. Do you see the blood?
Yeah.
I had blood on my lip still from that personal foul that they didn't call on me, that Von Miller hit me, and the ref called the first personal foul in my career on me for arguing.
Well, that referee was Hockley, which didn't like his father. His father was a goofball. And that kid, the young Hockley's no good either. And, it should have been a 15-yard penalty on who was it?
Von Miller.
Right? Yeah.
It was Miller.
And
the guy with the bottle glasses.
That was a bunch of BS.
That was my first personal foul penalty ever, just because I was arguing with the guy.
Now, I know you said to him, because, see, one of the things you don't know about me, TB12, is I'm a lip reader. So you said, what the F are you doing?
Well, yeah.
Right?
But that word is used in sports as a, just as used as a verb.
You made it too pointed. So he had to throw the flag at you because you called out, you basically, you called out his family. His father was a ref. He's a ref, so you called us. So he had to throw the flag at you.
Is that fam? Oh, that's that family that loves the bodybuilder. They got the big guns, that family.
The bodybuilder referee, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just still think that the commissioner could have called and told him, maybe to reverse that. I mean, come on, how can I get that penalty in that kind of a game when I got blood? Look, it's still there. I can't get it away.
Yeah.
It's still there. So I appreciate you again. I just kind of bum rushed you here and got out of my cryo chamber and came in. But
Giselle's pissing you. Listen, TB, I do have a couple bones to pick with you, though, because I got to tell you, you got that great commercial with Hertz, and it's a Let's Go commercial. So I'm attributing the Let's Go line to you now, even though I know you didn't invent the Let's Go. But that line is now yours. You're the one that's kind of made it famous. So I'm attributing that to you. But I got to tell you, is in the casino, it's the most irritating thing in the world. All these guys, all these white guys come and they play craps, and every time they hit a number, they're always going, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, geez. Oh, man.
I always tell them,
I don't want to be part of that.
I always tell them, guys, you got to come up with something more original. Like, let's go is too plain. You got to come up with something new. That's all I hear all night long. Let's go. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to maybe make a statement on that because I don't want to be, associated with these crazy, power drinkers. That's why they're doing it.
It's harmless, but it's just like it's a played out thing. We've heard it so you got to hear it all night long. I mean, the way you do it in that commercial is pretty cool. You underplay it, you understate it.
Yeah. Because I'm probably the second best actor in the NFL.
Behind who? Who
Baker Mayfield's a better actor than me, but he couldn't carry my jock as a quarterback.
No.
Oh, that little guy, he's got a lot to learn. But Tommy, I wanted to ask you, because, everyone's talking what my decision should be, if I should retire or not, and I need an opinion from someone like you, because I know it will be rational and unbiased. What do you think I should be doing?
Well, I think that you should retire, and because I'm good. I'm just going to lay it out there. I think your coach is another idiot. I don't like that Arians. I don't like you playing for that guy. I don't trust him.
Okay.
He'll turn on you. I don't trust the guy. That's a weird setup you got over there. I don't get that setup over. I don't know how that Arians is in that position. So I'm going to tell you to get away from that guy. You can't go to another team. You got your championship there. You did your job.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to prove anything anymore. You're good.
All right. What if there would be a trade, Aaron Rodgers to Tampa, and I go to Green Bay?
See now you're just proving that you got a great sense of humor.
What about that? Or what else? How about Cousins? How about they take Cousins and I go to Minnesota? Skull.
Yeah, no. You're going to go to every team that never won a championship and solve their problems?
Well, yeah. Or how about I go back to Boston and I get that guy. What do you call that guy? That Matt Jones? You call him something else? That guy, a singer, like an old time singer.
It reminds me of Mac Davis, the country music.
Yeah. What if I trade him for me and he goes to Tampa and I go back to Boston and win it?
Yeah. Well, possibly that. Listen, just go to let's go do something else. I mean, come on, it's time.
All right. I just don't want to be in the limelight, though. I love it, and I love playing the game of football, and I just don't know. I'm so conflicted now, and I just got to go. I got to go lay down. I got to go lay down. I got to go talk to Giselle. I got to go talk to my kids. I got to go put peroxide on my lip. Okay. I just got to go, but I thought I was going to feel better by talking to you because I love coming on the Old Men in Sweat show and talking to Tommy, but now I kind of feel conflicted again.
Confused. I know you're confused. I understand. Confused.
All right. Well, let's talk next week after the Super Bowl matchups are set.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll have a different outlook on it, and I'll do my best to make a public statement about that stupid saying that these drunk power drinkers are doing at the casinos.
Everyone says, let's go. Everyone, let's go. It's like, oh my God.
I'll look into it. So thank you again, Tommy. I gotta go lay down.
All right, buddy. I gotta go
to a cold washcloth on my head and
DB12 and BD33. Another great show.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Thank you for your time, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, buddy. I'll see you, buddy.
So he guy, he's a little confused. I think he's really seeing his life.
It's understandable that he's confused.
Oh my God, his whole life is coming now. All the successes he's had, this guy, in everything, and now he's even successful in business, but it's coming now to the forefront. Like, I may not play again in the NFL.
That's the thing, man. When you hang him up, it's for good.
All right, so let's get out of here. Everybody have fun watching the conference championship games this weekend. Old Men in Sweats here, Barry D and Tommy T. Go follow us on social media and all the platforms, be it podcast and or video. And remember out there, all you people, all you youngins and all you old people in the wild world of sports, remember this and always remember this about us. We won't try harder next time. So
Don't even ask.
don't even ask. That's it. People in Las Vegas, stay sweaty. Everyone, thank you for watching and listening. Tommy T, we'll talk to you soon.
Buddy. Good job, Barry D.
Okay.
That was awesome, man. Fun show. Thank you.
Adios.